Drones. Roman, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rooted.com, for being here one more year. Thank you for being at this very late afternoon. Only Saturday evening, fellow members and colleagues and comrades, stick around. My name is Pablo Emeterio. You know me as the WhatsApp Casino. I'm an IT engineer and security and audit master person. I work for Telefonica. This is my Twitter. Jose Miguel Cañete is coming with me. I'm a slightly older because you say you are a 19 degree holder. Um, I myself I started a degree in business science. I got a diploma in business science. I'm also an IT degree holder, and I'm Pablo's colleague. I work for Telefonica. There at Telefonica, we started working on this idea and project. Hasemi is one of these wonderful guys you can find around Telefonica. Very talented person. I was freaking out when saying farewell to one of our panel members. José knows so much about everything. A disclaimer now, we are showing you now a non-finalized project, some ideas, some approximation approaches as to being vigilant at our houses. As you start training and practicing as a declaimer, I never before I had been working with hardware in my whole life. There is something true. When you step forward, you come across problems. Software is corrected manually, but however you need to do ask this to China. There is some nuances, and so this the drone talk has been considered as an unmanned crew flight vehicle. As you know, I have a poll in the server. Hope you are living at the house. Everybody here lives at the house. Who else of you does not hear noises at that house? Everybody. All. Not only me. So my talk is about a friend of mine who bought a house. This guy is almost filthy rich, not too much. His house looks like this. Your a friend invited me. Oh, discover my house. Let's do a barbecue. And this guy asked me, did you get your hairs on end? Did you devote your professional life to security? Are you a professional security guy? Yes, I am. So a friend of mine told me, I bought this house, and I had trouble when we have a pretty cool girl or beautiful house. You think, okay, somebody will steal it. I need to protect my house. I need to put grills and fence to protect it. So some security guy went around. They told me, oh, there have been some robberies in my neighborhood. Your house is not well protected. So we consulted with the most two important companies in the Spain security market, and they gave in two budgets, ranging around 600 euros for putting the sensor, red, infrared devices, the camera per 40 euros per month. So Pablo, are you devoted to security, cybersecurity? People usually have keep the dogs, keep the dog. Okay, dogs. How much does a steak with some poisons steak cost you? So we also have another element: sensors, opening and person sensors. Movement detectors with camera, the typical switchboard, all these things. I started to explain to him, the two friends, this is what I'm doing. I didn't reach the level of these two monsters, gurus, but we are based on logical cybersecurity. We are not devoted ourselves to this kind of vigilant security issue, the Marshall guy. So we have before the dilemma logical security versus physical security. I started the master 7 years ago. We can hear this eternal debate about those devoted to logical security are underneath those on the physical security because they had devoted so much money. In the very end, my friend posed me for a defiance. I will secure you. Please, can you secure my house for as low as 600 euros to convince you? Oh, fucking good offer. So I started checking out how can I sorted out uh, everything. He got 80 euros per an alarm, 100 per cameras, webcams, and I thought of robots. Robots are automated, so this is generalized all over the world. Robots collecting the trays, preparing the cocktails. Reports from the USA president are automating tax as low as $20 per tax. They are low added value taxes. So I'm tackling this project as with a vision of a military. There are 5 war scopes: Earth, Air, Navy, Space, and Cyberspace, lately added in 2012. So we firstly rule out the sea. No ship will come to my friends in Pool, by the way. Even though I have to say there are more submarine robots that can check out the sea. The space, is sleep out because it's freaking frightening thing if I got on this rocket. And cyberspace because okay, my comrade got his securized router and Wi-Fi, so it's a super securized Wi-Fi system. So regarding the Earth, I have to do something at low cost. The platform allowed me moving around, and I thought about a tele-directed car. For this purpose, a drone. Drone comes in handy. How do we patrol in the streets on Earth? Autonomous vehicles with people looking around in the search and in the pursuit of anomalies undetected in certain areas. They are also connected to a central unit on the radio receiving orders, or when they get an alert regarding these anomalies. These are mobile terrestrial elements. The car, you can see, is remotely controlled and directed. I inserted the batteries and I play around with them. So it's not worth getting into 3, 4, 5 topics, as Raul says, basically because it did this skidded around. It went forward by skidding things. So I decatted it. I put out all the pieces out with 8 transistors and 4 cables and the current engines on the right and the left and forward and down, depending on the current electricity. It goes this way, goes forward or backwards. There's the moment. Transmitters and transistors is difficult for me, so there are other chips allowing you to set up this double current circuit, and you can enable engine 1 depending on the 2 enters, input 2 and 1, with the power goes one sense, one direction, 0 1 in the other direction, because the output current is on the other engine. This is the other engine. You got the feed for the chip, and the voltage is circulating through the engine. I wanted to get an autonomous movement with a red potential beams. I messing around with ultrasound. I mounted the infrared, which are the ones on at the moment, and I was testing, and with the infrared, they give you presence in daylight. So I removed the posterior model, and I would project it with a filter or with a presence ultrasound sensor. Autonomous in battery. It means I left the things behind. Uh, Autonomous battery. I got a battery. Of course, it's the rooted count battery, the one I'm going to use. And for them to have wireless chargers, you can find them on IKEA. I export them to China. When they are connected, they started charging, and as a rumba dance, a mine is charging whenever it wants to. It needs vision, as the good vigilant person, as a guard. The camera has to be infrared, otherwise you won't have vision at night. It has to be infrared, and some infrared rings. This is one of the solutions. When you got it wrong, you got the wrong focus. So 12 volts battery is inserted. José once week ago, José found this at the very same price as the normal camera with two infrared on both sides. The Johnny number 5. The funny thing is that the base is adapted. I go forward, step forward with the driller. You remove the carcass where it was stuck on pressure. How to detect anomalies? You can find the type of software motion. Basically, motion takes very first capture the area and the snapshot of the area you are watching. You can execute scripts. I took it from a telephonic office. I saw that the colleague at work with Johnny number 5. OpenCP, which is a library treating images. Among them, it allows you to do artificial intelligence with food preloaded with facial reconnaissance from the whole body, part of the body, and so on, and they allows you to do things like this. So the squares are the face detections. So at this moment, after certain detections, it has trouble. When your face is in between this cross, it cannot be detected. With glasses as well, it works. Facial recognition does not work with glasses. This does recognize faces with glasses, specifically at night, with pajamas, with indecent picture, and doing some kind of a street revolutionary fight, Kalia Baroka. It detects you without glasses, but if you get your glasses on, it's difficult. One of the things this library allows you to detect patterns before the one they have. But by training, we mean that it's very time consuming, and you know how to do it. I try to inject QR codes instead of doing these rounds of training. I only wait for 4 hours and a half. Some other elements perhaps weren't the most adequate. So one of them was correctly captured, and the other code cannot be properly detected. Intruders detection, PIR, which I didn't end up mounting, detects elements based upon infrared. This is the demo moment effect, so I wouldn't want to lose time. This element is installed in lighting. You move this with the hands. When you move your hand, it starts on and off. By moving the hand, the light gets on and off. So this detects the body heat and activates. It's a way, a second presence factor beside the image analysis. Notifications, alerts, commands center as the radio patrol and the command patrol. I took it from Telegram. Danito, are you here? Oh, it's super easy to do. It's Python. You may not like it, but it's easy to do. I program it to detect patterns and to send you a picture to Telegram. Besides all the commands, managing the camera up and down can be sent through Telegram. It's autonomous regarding internet. This is the worst part of all. I couldn't develop it totally. The patrol has to come back to the loading station with some buoyancy in their movements. So we need program patrols. It's to be included. It's keeping the pictures for having connectivity is missing. Because it's one of the first trials as to detecting the face. I'm taking out the pictures and send over to the PC. If you don't have Wi-Fi or internet, you have to keep the pictures or to do the internal processing. Further up, we'll see the Wi-Fi inhibitors as to can install and have GMS connectivity because somebody may have keep you out of the internet. Who controls this device? Here, I have to admit, perhaps not the best possible idea. The Davis Melendez, with his genius, presented a drone moving around. In Hackron, I was lucky to hearing him say that not only from raspberries the man lips. I was astonished. What are you telling? He was sort of lucky. Raspberries I can collapse with the internet and they leave you with a crazy phase. Servers are nuts to deal with. Raspberry won't be the right thing to do. So costs. Now costs. I want to reach there in order to not to over exceed this 600 euros I have as a budget. Card 50 euros, Raspberry 25, camera plus infrared 25, receiver QI7, charger QI14, infrared sensor 1 per 2, PIR sensor 5, total 97 euros. You can, I rushed to buy, but you may go to a low-cost store and you can even get better pricing for these devices. Live demo. If you don't like it and if you don't want to go out, blind your eyes because I connected my car on Telegram web. It's connected on that site. So if you don't want to go out of the room, blind your eyes, blindfolding for all of you. The demo starts now. Now I ask him to take a picture, and you got it.
Tiene comandos también para el motion.
It has commands for motion streaming to send videos. Should you be interested, I'll show you around later. I don't want to lose time on this presentation with this specific. So I'm going to perform the patrol demo. Now I'm setting up the command, and you have to be a patrol. This is the buoyance. The buoyancy is what you can see now. It's going to start moving forward, and the moment it gets the buoyancy, it will keep at a vigilant mode and looking for hands. Oh, you are so cute, my friends. I do love you. I have to buy a Telegram, a fake Telegram, as Chemas the fake Telegram account. You are so cool, my friends. Bloke. Oh, give it that. Give it that. Don't it only finishes. Okay, let's try if he gets it.
Lo pillo ya.
Deberían analizarlo, ¿no?
Debes...
So a message with the name Petrol should come out. So now it's on vigilant mode against the buoyants, and it will start keeping and taking pictures. You may be a bit away from here. The moment it detects a phase, will be sending a pic on Telegram. The moment the vigilance finishes, it will go back to go to the entry or the exit point, to be correct. Now it's your turn.
Pues mientras también
Me
puedes...
voy a poner... Bueno, ya se está yendo.
Oh, in the meantime, we see that is going around. So far, so good. Now it's going back home, waiting for you. This is it. Live demo finished. So far, so good. You saw the fantastic part of this car. So now I'm going to introduce you to the part that Pablo couldn't reach. I tried to do lending a hand because it was such a passionate thing. I started thinking of the drone model. The very first thing I came out with, who is not frightened and scared when you open a door and you see this bird? So due to lacking budget, we ruled it out. So we started by designing, developing during many hours. So some days ago, we noticed that this video was published. Fast Lightweight Autonomy Program, Warehouse Flight Data Collection, DARPA. This is demo effect. DARPA's FLA programs recently demonstrated that the commercial quadcopter platform could achieve 20 meters per second, carrying a full load of sensors. So they are autonomous drones. It was bad news for us. Americans went up, step up before us. This shows a drone reaching 45 kilometers per hour, and is recorded in a warehouse with a lot of cameras in a well-prepared environment. My goodness, mine may run as much of 40-45 miles per hour estimate autonomous flight. Air vehicle use onboard sensor software to self-navigate. So here we can see the video where 2 or 3 people okay, the drone moves around little by little with their remote control. Pay attention to the one in control of the remote control. It's a big drone which analyzes the scenario, and it knows the environments, the scene, and it takes the right decisions as necessary. It varies to change the gear it meanders the boxes. It was like a bad news. It was bad news for us. What are we going to present in the routed? So we started moving around, and we saw this video is recording in a control environment, a logical thing, but if you look into detail, you can read teleoperator. Teleoperated is not autonomous, so it's teleoperated. Actual speed teleoperated at 20 m/5. I saw so many warehouse, and you cannot read these labels. So they're using their label recognizing system as to knowing how to navigate around that area. It may say I'm autonomous. That's a guy with a transmitter is manipulating the back, the device, to avoid collapsing and hitting the walls. I don't know, but I don't have a national air station to do this kind of experiments. So in the very end, it's like a humorous movie. We got low budget, and then in our free time, so we started working. One of my first questions regarding this project is flying a drone legal according to the law? The legislation is going to change. This is a temporary law that is going to change this year. To sum up, you don't have to fly your drone in populated places or at night. You have to avoid airports, which is totally logical. And if you don't have commercial ends, there's no problem because it's like a hobby. So you don't need a degree, a pilot degree holder. So from then on, we started build upon that, and we got a platform which is very dissimilar from Pablo's car platform. Our platform has to be light, quick, and flatten, and we combine the current existing technologies in this world by using nano boards from Arduino. We have to obtain stability advantages. Arduino's is limited when it comes to communications, analysis, and that's why we get into the Android part. We saw the very first prototype. We can see it down on the left, which is at the back. Very firstly, through this platform, we balance the system. A multi-rotor copter is based upon a physical balance, very delicate one. The pushing has to be vertical. It has to be balanced on 4 engines, and it has to be balanced regarding the twist of the helixes. To keep this balance requires a lot of processing speed and requires additional elements such as a pressure calibrator to calculate the altitude of GPS, which is marking that it should not do lateral movements. In the case of wind, it has to be stabilized, and a compass to indicate where we are pointing at in a very small space, only for us to keep a stable air flight base both in altitude and in position. As Pablo used Raspberry, this board requires certain condition of feed and other characteristics which are not okay. Why don't you try to take a Chinese mobile? So we commission a mobile phone. Mobile is a very little chip. It's a small board with and chip with 2 cameras. We have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 3G is slightly costly than the Raspberry, but it comes in handy. So we need kind of sensors that allows us to locate and to gauge and calibrate distances. We use the ultrasound sensors to calculate distancing between 4 and 5 meters just in case of obstacles. Perhaps you saw the PIR sensor, as Pablo showed you, regarding a drone. You could have taken a picture, it shows you, and it given you a false positive. Infrared matricial ones within some angles. It has a lot of movement, so just linear approach is not enough. You need 50 degrees amplitude to defer and calibrate the right movement and orientation. This is set up in a very small space. As ever, the very first trials, very first collapsing, these were the very first times it took off with little gas. It oscillates as the typical thing with these videos. You have a very first takeoff and a very first collapsing with the one single lamp post at the place.
Vale.
Okay, another thing to bear in mind was battery life. We were using batteries like standard for air gliders, 10-15 minutes. That time is too short, so we thought about the possibility of using other technologies like hydrogen cells, but we didn't want to go into fireworks or anything like that. So the solution we chose was, instead of having one drone, having several and combining them with terrestrial drones. And I think the time has come, the big time has come now, to make it take off. This is the prototype. We have double protection, one for the electronics. This is the checkup procedure for the motors. I would go away from it if I were you. So what we do now is to connect to it, set it up. There must be a lack of balance somewhere. I don't think I'll try again. Obviously it's out of balance, slightly. But anyway, this is a project we'll keep working on. And hopefully we'll show it flying in our next meetings. So, Wi-Fi distortions. If you don't have a Wi-Fi and you don't connect to your elements, maybe it's your router that has gone down, but if a router is alive, strange. So we thought of the solution, the Raspberry or something similar. I know that David Melendez, with a basic TP-Link router, would do anything. And a cable connected to the internet output plus infrared communication, you could try and solve the problem. Conclusions. We believe that autonomous surveillance systems are part of the future. We believe that this is a reality that will come to us very soon. I missed a picture from one of my colleagues with a football that rolls around houses with a camera on board. Another thing is, don't be afraid of hardware. Getting into this is really amusing. There's a lot of fun, I can assure you. And another somewhat negative conclusion about electronic shops. Perhaps it's my own experience, or maybe they're all like that. I don't want to generalize. But the 3 or 4 times I've gone to shops to get components, the answer is, give me the reference. If I have the reference, I can buy it myself. So you have friends or relatives, make them work harder. And especially if you see Fernando like that, remember electronics is a complicated thing. The poor guys at Honda must be having a hell of a time. Acknowledgements. I would like to thank Alicia and Valeria for putting up with me and for the time I take from them. Imma also for always looking alternatives. Miguel Guzman for his coaching techniques, and obviously Alberto, Fede and Mateo for helping us with the 3D printer. And acetone. We use a little bit of acetone and some plastic from the 3D printer. Whatever you stick, it remains forever. The metacrilates base is glued using acetone. It never breaks. One last slide from our sponsors, because we are always looking for people with talent. If you want to work with us, that's the address. I will not ban you from writing. Questions? There's a question over there. Left, going up. Congratulations for that talk. Thank you for those acknowledgements. There's something I'm not too clear about. I think I didn't get it. Those ultrasound sensors, did you connect them directly to your mobile phone? Did you use Arduino or? Yeah, the connections you have from a mobile phone are not enough. So we've used Arduino, and there is the device acting as a bridge, really, collecting the information from ultrasound and thermal sensors. Thank you.
¿Alguna pregunta más?
Any more questions? At the back, towards the center. I really like your talk, and I wanted to ask you something. We're not going to throw a steak at our dog, but we've seen that there are many ways to hijack drones. Interfere with wireless networks. Have you checked the security in your project, or was it just the fact of making it take off and showing it to your customer? I love your talk anyway. But after everything we've seen, the first thing that comes to my mind is you throw the steak to your dog and then send the drone to sleep. Thank you very much. Well, perhaps I should answer, because of the mention about the drone. We based our communication on the fact that the drone is autonomous. The intelligence part was not mounted, but what does the system give you? Well, it gives you Wi-Fi on the one hand, Bluetooth, 3G, GPRS, 4G. So they would need to install quite a significant jammer to inhibit all communications to and from the drone. And I've always thought that the Robots shouldn't communicate with anyone. It should be an autistic robot, if you like. It should only use communications when it detects alerts. Did I respond to your question? Hello? I really like your talk. One question. Couldn't you perhaps generate or create a mothership drone for refueling in the air? That is a very good question. A mothership drone. The problem is that in order to recharge the batteries, they have a linear charge procedure, and they need to go through several cycles of charge and discharge. There are quite a few changes in temperature, and the manufacturers tell you that they can even explode when subject to charging. So we are working on creating a battery rack. The drone lands, goes into a platform, and the intelligence part then activates some relays so that the battery can be charged. But a mothership to refuel whilst in the air? No, we haven't thought about that yet. That was one of our ideas at the beginning. If keeping a drone flying is difficult enough, just imagine a mothership refueling in the air. One more question? Anything? Have you implemented any technique like a dead man button? If the drone stops responding for X minutes, is there an alert fired somewhere? This is what I told you about in GSM, not wirelessly. On the solution I was mentioning, you first have to have something connected with a cable to your router. And the other thing is that you get close enough and have infrared communication. Have you considered any existing libraries like ROS, Paparazzi? Rather than starting from scratch, reuse something that has been made before? It's OpenCV for the images, and Mutium for image detection. The other ones, I don't know. But we'll investigate about that. Thank you. Last question. There's one there. Sorry, we're not getting sound. Would it perhaps be possible? Well, congratulations for your talk, of course. Would it perhaps be possible to have two drones that could tackle the issue of charging batteries? Because when the drone is charging the battery, it would be non-active. And then the dead man button, how about two? One at the station, at a base station, the other one doing surveillance. When one runs out of battery, the other one takes off. And a signal of some sort sent from one to the other. If there's no response, the second drone takes off and looks for the first one. Yeah, we thought about that. Since we cannot give the system a longer range because of battery issues, we could have more than one drone available, or complement the system with ground-based drones. Thank you very much to both of you.